I'm calling the February 10th Sustainability Commission meeting to order. Natalie, can you please read the roll?
Alderperson Nelson.
Here.
Commissioner Castellanos.
Here.
Commissioner Lawton.
Here.
Commissioner Leonard.
Here.
Commissioner Panic.
Here.
Commissioner Slavin.
Here.
Commissioner Van Schindel.
Commissioner Van Schindel is excused.
And Advisor Metzler.
Advisor Metzler is excused.
Okay, cool. Public comment on matters not on the agenda. Comments made during the public comment period shall pertain only to matters under the jurisdiction of the Sustainability Commission. Okay. Second time, public comment on matters not on the agenda. Comments made may only pertain to the jurisdiction of the Sustainability Commission. One more time. Anybody have public comment? Okay, no.
Shot.
I know, she wasn't ready. All right, so first on the agenda, we have approval of the January 13th, 2026 Sustainability Commission meeting minutes.
I'll move to approve.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right. Any discussion? No? Okay. All in favor of approving the January 13th meeting minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
That was motion to approve by Alderperson Nelson, seconded by Commissioner Slavin.
Okay. Next up, we have consideration and possible action on proposal for 2026 Green Tier Legacy Community Scoresheet completion.
Excellent. So staff met with Allison Brunette about putting together our green tier score sheet for the Wisconsin DNR this year with the intent to have it completed and submitted by the end of the year, it'll be calendar year 2026. So in her proposal, which is included with today's agenda, she's proposing a not to exceed cost of $4,500 to provide the score sheet. In this, the really only deliverable we're looking for from Allison is the completed score sheet at the end of the year. The intent would most likely to be to retain her again for next year to upkeep and maintain the score sheet, where staff could be in a position maybe in 2028 to then take things over once everything's established and we get a good sense of how it's working. So if anybody has any questions on the commission, Allison is in attendance today. Otherwise, staff is recommending approval of the proposal in the amount of $4,500.
I'll move to approve. I'll second.
Motion to approve by Alderperson Nelson, seconded by Commissioner
I don't
Lawton.
want to ask Allie anything. I'm just kidding. Okay. All in favor of working with Allie? I'm blanked. All in favor of going forward with using?
Accepting the proposal.
Thank you.
Allison
Accepting
Burnett
the
Consulting.
proposal from Allison Burnett. And the amount of $4,500. Please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All opposed, same sign. Okay.
Well, appreciate you coming, Allison.
It was nice to see you.
Thank you, guys. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Excellent. Yeah, if you want to leave, feel free. Otherwise, you can always stick around. We don't typically get an audience.
Okay, that was easy. I know her, if you guys couldn't tell. Yeah, okay. So next on the agenda, we have discussion on 2026 Sustainability Commission budget. No, we don't. I was wrong. We have the consideration and possible action on 2026 Composting Services Reimbursement Rates.
Yes. So when staff, or the city in general, took over the compost reimbursement program, the Common Council wanted the commission to establish a reimbursement rate on an annual basis. Last year, we set the reimbursement rate to cover 50% of the subscription fees for Greener Bay Compost's services in the city of De Pere. Staff reviewed those costs. Doesn't look like they've changed going into 2026. So we're recommending the same reimbursements of $9 per month for the every 4 weeks pickup plan, and then $15 per month for those using the every other week plan. So again, our recommendation would be to maintain our reimbursement rates going into 2026.
Do we have any discussion on this?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
I thought it said in the memo, but remind me how many people are currently using this?
Right now we're at 26 or 27 residents.
Okay. And do you know what that's divided between the 4 weeks and every other week?
It's actually pretty close to 50-50 split.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool, thanks.
It might be like 1 or 2 off from.
Okay.
Anything else?
No change in the process or anything?
No, we got a pretty well-oiled machine at this point. Got a couple stragglers. Like last week, I got another reimbursement request for the fiscal third quarter of 2025. So nothing we can't handle.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion approved by Commissioner Slavin, seconded by Alderperson Nelson.
Okay. All in favor of accepting the 2026 composting service reimbursement rates, please say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, same sign. Okay, cool. We're cruising now. Discussion on the 2026 Sustainability Commission budget.
All right. So we're kind of in our infancy of having a budget as a commission. To start, in our memo, I kind of outlined what we saw in 2025. We carried over some funds for consulting services with the compost reimbursement program, carried over some office supplies for the air monitors that didn't really pan out, and then operating supplies for the pollinator gardens that we received no proposals on. So large expenses in 2025 came to be the reimbursement program as a whole. That was about $5,000. We spent another $1,600 in the stormwater model we're going to present on today. Otherwise, arts and crafts for the farmers market took up some supplies, and then we have the partnership with the De Pere Cinema for the Adopt-A-Drain advertisement. Going into 2026, we're looking to carry over another $15,000, $10,000 of which will be in the consulting services, with the intent to retain Allison Brunette for the green tier score sheet, and another $5,000 in operating supplies. With that money, be slating for renting maybe a sustainable space or renting a space for the proposed sustainable series. An example of which would be the Mulva Center. Slated for 2026, we have about $3,400 in composting reimbursement for the 23 active residents. Sorry, I misspoke. It's not 27. Another $500 to partner with the Botanical Gardens and the Conservation Corps for the Pollinator handout. And then we still have advertisements with the De Pere Cinema for another $1,700. So at the bottom of this memo, we show the annual budget for this year. It's a little bit over the 37, so what that'd be $47,000 that we have to spend. I feel like I did my math wrong. It's summarized on the bottom. Don't take my total for what it's worth.
Okay.
22.
Discussion about this.
Yeah,
40.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
I see that we carried over 15,000 from last year.
Yes.
So, and I'm not saying I want this, it needs to be this way, but I used to work for the VA, and it was very much a, if you don't spend it, you lose it type thing. So I'm wondering if we can, maybe have some more plans to use some more of those funds this year, just because, being on the council, if it's not spent, we'll probably drop that. So
Exactly.
and then I think there's a lot of good initiatives we can put our money in. So just wanted to throw it out there that I think we could do some of these things, even more of the advertisements at the movie theater or some of those billboards. I know it's kind of coming, but
In response to that, I will say we are in a better position than 2025 already. We already have these funds kind of slated to be spent with ongoing initiatives.
Sure.
The Pollinator Gardens, we had our best intentions for that program, and then we just never got a proposal. So that was a large chunk of money we couldn't spend.
Gotcha, okay.
We had maybe $15,000 slated for that.
Okay.
And same with the air monitors. Nobody just showed interest in it. So, no, I do agree though.
Yep. Sounds good.
And that was a discussion only item, I think. So,
Yeah.
unless there's any other comment, we can move on.
Are the pollinator gardens are we going to attempt it again?
At this point, I'm in a holding pattern. We can. I would just need direction from the commission how we'd want to attack it. I think doing the same thing again this year wouldn't work. We'd have to look at a different way to.
I have a suggestion for that.
Want to talk about it under the pollinator item?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we have consideration possible action on initiative advertising.
All right. So Commissioner Panic provided a lot of stuff on this one. She met with, is it Lamer, for billboard pricing. And in this memo, I have a couple attachments. I'll throw them on the screen here. The first was the electronic billboards throughout the De Pere corridor on Interstate 41. So map 1 here, they're hard to see because we're so far away here, but I have 4 billboard locations. One's on 172 and the rest are on 41 near Shuring and then just north of the main avenue exit. Kind of how they look as you're driving through the corridor.
What is the time length on those? Do you know?
The pricing is here, and it's in my memo.
I got it.
It says a 4-week rate.
If I can interject.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to jump in.
Yeah, so as far as timeline on the digital, those are a very quick turnaround because it's really just designing it and saying, yes, we're good to go as far as runtime. So that is where the benefit of digital comes in because it's a very quick design. Throw it up on the digital, it's good. Of course, then the costs associated with it are a little bit higher. Just on the poster sizes, which will be a little bit smaller, those are the ones that you'll see like
This is the
kind of
viaduct.
on, yeah, yep, there you go. Yep, that one. So those do have a longer turnaround time because they do have to physically make the vinyl. I believe he said it could be about a 4-week turnaround time on something like that. And then the run times on them are 4 weeks as well.
Okay.
We do pay a premium recommending, or we do pay a premium on them if we want specifically the ones in De Pere because this is a market-wide program that they do is these small posters. So there's, I think he said an extra $100 charge to specifically request De Pere only.
My question I asked, I think wrong. On the electronic billboards, how long do those ads like they rotate through, right? Like what is the show time if anyone knows that? Because I know you can like go through Blip and pay based on like how often and how much like you want to see it on there and how long it stays up. So I guess it was just like a curiosity question.
Yeah, it's listed right underneath the little Google Map view. You'll see that it's 8 slots for 8 seconds.
Okay, cool.
If you scroll down one more,
Oh, you guys see it now.
So in this block here, if
you
you're
should
looking at
see
your
it in that
memo,
little, yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, so a lot of good stuff here. Yeah, feel free, Joni, if you want to go on more on this. I just took your info and took screenshots and included it. So
Yeah, I guess I'm not the biggest fan of like the digital billboards. I think that we're capturing people who aren't necessarily City of De Pere residents, and that's what you're paying the premium for. My favorite, and I've used the posters in previous roles. The posters are very local. We're hitting the right people, and the commitment budget-wise is smaller, of course. Instead of looking at let's just see, billboard number 1, a 4-week rate is around $1,700, where you go down to your poster sizes. And of course, it all depends on the location, but you're looking at more of a 4-week rate of $725. So it's approximately, give or take $1,000 savings in that. Like I said, we do pay a premium for specifically selecting De Pere as the ones that we want to run in. But the posters are phenomenal. I'm sure we've all driven past these. I see them everywhere. And it's the local traffic that we're going to be trying to capture because we want to specifically cater to that De Pere audience versus everybody driving on 41.
Yeah, I like the De Pere focus for sure.
I do too. What did they explain what an eco poster is? Like where does this vinyl piece go afterwards?
I didn't actually ask him that specifically, but from my past experience, these vinyls are torn down and repurposed into, I'm not sure if you've seen like the totes that you can take to the grocery store, but I can definitely have that as a clarifying question for him and just say, hey, of course, we're a sustainability committee. Can you please explain what happens to these posters? But I do believe some of them are repurposed for those types of things.
How much of a lead time do we need for considering these? I know you said it's quicker for the digital, but like, are these scheduled pretty far out, or what would we need if we decided to move ahead with this?
each billboard is different. You'll see, let me just pull up my little list here.
If you want to direct me to
It
a
looks
location, we
like-
can always move as well.
Yeah, if you look at panel like 24372, which is page 11, under the miscellaneous section, it says available on 223. The panel 24371 is available on 39. But however, regardless, we always will need at least a 4-week lead time to have everything produced.
Do we know if we would have the ability to retain the posters afterwards? I mean, depending on how we designed them, you could use them for future purposes too, right? To hang up and.
I have asked that for previous employers, and they typically don't have you I don't think they allow you to take them because I think it's more of a liability on their end of what happens to it afterwards. But once again, I can definitely reach out with that question and see what he says.
Well, I would say I agree with the posters. I think just the highway is wonderful, but I think just on local streets, especially when you're going under the railroad bridge, like that's just something that everybody notices what's there, and I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, and those would be the first two posters. of the
Yep,
poster
exactly,
group.
those two.
One caveat with Main Avenue, though, we are slated to do utility work and then reconstruct that corridor in 2027.
Ashland is
2028.
also a great option.
Well, I'm just saying cars will be at a standstill and they can just
okay.
stare and really take it in.
Oh, I thought you meant it would be blocked. Okay. Well, that's even better.
There will be portions, yeah, but
Okay. So what do we think?
Are there any other questions? And I can redirect. I don't think we should do it. I don't know if we want to do an action at this current point in time with these current questions, but if there's any others that I can reach out to Michael from Lamar.
This is great. I'm excited. I really like the
Otherwise-
idea of the posters.
all staff would need, if we want to move forward with like a poster, is maybe initiative to brand it toward, and we can work with our advertisement, or Andrew and City
Yeah.
Hall, and come up with some sort of branding and bring
I
a
mean, I
proposal for you
think
guys.
the suggestions that you have in here are good.
Okay. Then we will get cute and creative.
Sweet.
Is the,
Oh, go ahead.
is the fact that they're all on the west side just because that's where the billboards are?
Yeah.
Just curious.
So, I don't think.
I was gonna say we can read over here.
I don't think they have any on the east side. I think it's just what Lamar owns specifically.
Yeah, we become ledge view pretty quick on this side. I mean, I like it. Okay. So we're not going to do anything this month with this?
One more question. So we would have the ability to swap these out. I mean, you pay the $225 for each poster, but then like, what's the schedule on potentially? Is it every 4 weeks you could swap it out, or do we know that?
Correct.
So it's every 4 weeks you could have a brand new poster. Just okay.
Correct.
Makes sense.
Or could we do 2 like cycles? Is that possible?
Oh, yeah. Just pay for like 8 weeks instead.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
I believe so.
Okay. Okay, so then we'll bring forward some ideas maybe. I'll probably work with you then to get your input on how we should size these before we bring them back to commission then, if you're okay with that.
Sounds good.
All right?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have discussion on Sustainability Commission work plan.
Yeah, this is the opportunity to discuss our work plan. Updates to the plan now have been the proposal from Allison Burnett to work on our green tier score sheet with the Wisconsin DNR. That will then lead into our baseline energy uses and on the clean energy front. Outside of that, we've updated our composting reimbursement rates. And other than that, we've just done a little bit of cleanup on this document.
Okay.
So if there's any discussion, I'll leave it open to you guys.
So getting the energy baseline is going to allow us to, I mean, does the state have kind of built-in suggestions based off of what you submit or what you're, I mean, does that kind of automatically generate ideas potentially? Or?
That's the intent of the document and the score sheet.
Okay.
On the energy front, it'll be kind of citywide energy use, and then it breaks it further down onto the city's buildings and land and how we're using energy, natural gas,
Sure.
just the different sources. And it goes into like transportation, land uses. There's 7 different categories that they get input on and then score you.
Okay.
And that's to generate ideas on where we can improve and then a way to kind of keep track of how we are improving.
So do we submit yearly then, or is it?
It's an annual submission
Okay.
due in March.
Gotcha. Okay. So it'll be for, like, the next one would be due in 2027 March. once
Yes,
submit
we
this
are
one.
going to work on the 2027 score sheet outlining our 2026 uses,
Okay. Gotcha.
which might be 2025 data.
Yes.
If you think about that.
Yeah.
Seems right.
Yeah.
Anything else? On this?
It came to my attention as I was looking at these that if we do the boosts again at the farmer's market, the planned natural landscape will be a very interesting portrayal of these, because we can have those actual plants there.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about. This is why it's, you shouldn't do this, and et cetera, et cetera. It could be a real engaging learning experience with almost kind of like hands-on or eyes-on exposure.
Shoot, that could be something we do, another plant handout at the farmer's market.
I'm in for that.
Yeah.
I better
Plant packs.
planted right away.
Or move with the 5 for Flyers, but we're
I'm sure my
coming down
garden's
again.
got many of them.
Always room for more.
I feel like stuff like that model too would attract.
Oh, that'd
people.
be a fun
You know,
one.
people. I mean, I would go and look at that if I walk by. It's like, ooh,
I want to
what's
go look at it.
That was the intent
a
of
toy?
Oh, the model's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Surprise, I'm giving the presentation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, anything else on this? We move on. Okay. Next, we have discussion on Initiative Prioritization Clean Air Initiative.
Open for discussion with commission. Staff has no updates on clean air.
When do we get rid of it?
If the
Sorry.
commission opts that this is no longer an initiative, we can update the worksheet or the work plan and table it, would be the nice way to put it.
Yeah, I guess that would be.
I think it can be tabled. I mean, with me kind of being the lead on this, I don't have anything exciting from the research that I've done on what we can do without really looking into the emissions, which I know has kind of been tackled, and until I can think of a really great way to bring this more to an in-home clean air, I would recommend tabling it.
Staff doesn't disagree. I think there's better spots we can be putting our energy towards.
Agreed.
We will move forward with that discussion idea for next meeting.
Okay. Okay, next one. All right, so the next one we have consideration and possible action on Initiative Prioritization Pollinator Gardens Planned Natural Landscapes.
So attached to this memo, we have the updated flyer for what's an invasive species provided by Commissioner Castellanos.
Yes.
And then Eben Erard provided the 5 for Flyers, kind of a summary based on our discussion in November, I believe, on his thoughts. And I think there's one plant we wanted an alternate to on there, but
I mean, it's
so other than that, staff has reached out to the Mull Center for the Mother's Day plant handout to see if they have a space for us. We've yet to get a response.
for the ones that we're getting from the Botanical Garden?
Yes, just a location to
On Mother's
center
Day?
operations. I thought that was when they were planning the Conservation Corps and
Yeah.
Botanical Garden flower handout.
Yeah, I got you. That's like the one weekend I'm here in May. So
Okay.
that I just was really excited about it.
Right. So if that doesn't pan out, we'll have to look at other venues.
Okay.
Outside of this, staff's recommendation would be then to post the what's an invasive species on our website.
I mean, I'm down for that.
Social media as well.
We can absolutely do it.
I think we should be, this is great discussion items and we can all share.
Natalie's
kind
an
of stuff we should
expert
be-
on that. And there's the updated document. So it's up to you guys for discussion and or possible action.
What's our action on?
Staff recommended posting the
Oh, that,
invasive, what is an invasive species document on our website, and Commissioner Slavin amended that recommendation to include social media as well.
Okay. Yikes. So do we have a second for that motion?
Second.
Okay. All in favor of, do I have to leave this open if we want to talk about other stuff? Or just this motion? What are we doing?
We can talk again. We'll stay on the item. You're good. Let's get the motion done.
Okay.
And continue this discussion.
All right, cool. All in favor of putting the invasive species handout on the website and on social media, please say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Okay, we got an aye. That was a positive.
Wonder, this is probably overly complicating things, but knowing we're going to be doing handouts, I wonder if someone could take a picture of removing one of these things, like there would be a bonus of, obviously we're handing them out anyway, but some sort of fun incentive to see if people are, like, I know I have a burning bush that needs to be removed and I've been sitting on it because I don't want to deal with it, but like, obviously I will now. Anyway, just wondering if there's other ways we could key up momentum.
Could we produce a video?
We could do a video. Do you
about-
want to come help me remove?
Always.
I feel like
Always
the
do it.
removal is the hardest part for a lot of this stuff, you know?
Well, we have until spring, right?
Yes, yeah.
Video, removing a burning bush.
Okay, you can write
I mean, we
about
can talk about the
those.
characteristics of it during it, so you know how to identify it, do all that.
Natalie will get in touch with our production team and we'll see what we can come up with.
Cool. I love that I'm in all the videos that we've made. This feels so special.
Keep it up, you might be on a billboard.
Yes, yes, dreams. Okay, so other stuff in this.
The Deep Pier Cemetery, Greenwood, south end of the town, just beyond Deep Pier actually, but they had goats for many years, trying to get rid of buckthorn. They did that 3 or 4 years. And the theory was cumulatively the goats would just keep wiping out the more robust ones, and they'd get smaller and smaller. And then they had to do that whole project, and it wiped out. They took them all out then. But
I mean, that's an idea.
They were everywhere. I mean, that whole riverbank was buckthorn and an occasional decent tree.
So it was successful?
The goats did what they were supposed to do, but that's like
They had a bigger erosion.
mowing Phragmites. You can mow Phragmites and mow Phragmites, and slowly it kind of knocks it off, but it's not going to be there. But there's still some there. You can't totally.
And you do have a chemical treatment. Okay. I mean, I love that, but that's a lot. Wild Ones has a plant sale going on, coming up. I have handouts if anyone wants them. So, I mean, that's added to this. And then we were talking about the, plantings. So the Conservation Corps this year has done a roving team that you can hire for other communities to come, and they'll do invasive species removal, and they'll do plantings, and things like that. So that might be a better route to go than finding a private consultant and working with them again.
So do we procure the plants ourselves and then
They do all of it. You just hire them.
So they'll procure, and so do we draw up a proposal for them to review and give us a price, or how does this work?
That's a good question. I can reach out to Maria Otto if you want. But okay. I have to ask her about something else anyways. So, yeah, I know that Wild Ones gave them $7,000 for a project. So I mean, we could really, if we come up with a good one, then we just are
How
keeping
big
it
of a
going.
project was $7,000?
Pretty big.
Yeah.
I'll follow up with her.
Okay.
So that would be potentially be for like a selection, almost like the 5 for Flyers, or is that what you're?
It'd be the pollinator gardens at our urban orchards.
Oh, gosh, okay,
So they
not.
would plant and put the.
Oh, they would actually plant them here. It wouldn't be for a residential purchase. Okay, gotcha.
How do we handle watering and maintenance then afterwards?
It's a great question. For her.
Throwing it all at you.
Yeah. Yeah, so they do a lot of cool stuff. I don't know if you guys follow along with what they're doing in Green Bay, but they're trying to make a pollinator corridor from UWGB all the way over to NWTC. And they're doing it all in public parks, and then they maintain them. So it's very cool. Okay. Talk. Okay. Anything... I'm excited. I did get the list of plants that we're going to get in like the stuff, so I will work.
We had that included in the minutes.
Oh, good. Okay.
It just wasn't the table, it was written out for me.
Yeah, awesome. So I guess I will work on that too.
Sure. Yeah, if they get us an invoice, we can pay that too.
Okay. Oh, I have to ask about that. Cool. Pickup, etc. Okay. Anything else on this? Okay. Next, we have discussion on Initiative Prioritization, Green Energy.
So 2 things on this. First of which is that proposal we just moved to approve, and that'll go to Common Council for final consideration and approval. And then second, Commissioner Leonard provided data center information. If you want to tackle that.
Yeah, I wrote this a while ago, so I'm trying to remember everything on here. So I'm going to give a little synopsis, but at the Greenleaf meeting, when there was a potential data center being proposed, they had put together some different speakers that had some kind of knowledge about data centers. And so the information I provided is mostly from one gentleman, I'm forgetting his first name, his last name is Block. He was like he gave very pragmatic advice and fairly unbiased because he was from like the IT world and did see that data centers do have a use, but just cautioned like where and when and how are the big issues. So the first talking point he had was about the hype cycle, because it's just good to put it into context that these are coming up everywhere because we are currently in that peak of the hype cycle where they don't know what they might need, and so everyone's just jumping on the bandwagon. He even talked about a quote from Zuckerberg that basically says, I'm willing to spend tons of money in case this becomes, something important rather than not spend the money and lose out later. Like it just shows that that's the sentiment surrounding this. So a little bit of background about these buildings themselves and the fact that they can be obsolete so quick is that most data centers that are out there now are only good for about 15 to 25 years. And they're not really good for anything else. They're small, like short buildings, no windows. You can't really turn them into much after. But the ones that we're seeing currently are called hyperscale. And so we don't really even have a good idea now of how long those would be operating. The other part of that is that the builders, they know the risk of this, and you can tell by the way they're building it. They don't build all buildings at one time. They do a little bit at a time because technology is moving so fast that they might have a better water system in 2 years when they start the next building. That's how fast things are moving. So just to put it into perspective. Now, this was kind of interesting about the financial risks. If you're in a community and you decide, hey, we really don't want this here, we want to change our zoning or something to make it so that that can't happen, their data centers are armed with a legal team that can fight based off of exclusionary zoning pretty effectively. So there are some communities that maybe already have zoning or have been effective at beating that legal argument, but again, I don't have much information on that. And if we have anything like that in place. So there's a couple things that I tried to talk about with tax incentives, and I'm not the best person to speak about this, but they're doing tax incremental districts, and I'm not too familiar with what these are, but I think it defers some tax liability because you're saying you're helping infrastructure, and that is what they're doing on a fair amount of these. And they're not really adding anything to the communities. You're not bringing any traffic. There's no supply chain happening. The amount of employees they have is very little. I think they quoted, gosh, I have it in here.
20 people per building.
Exactly, and those people could even be remote. So that's
How many?
20. Yeah, so the amount of people to build these, yes, is more, but that is a temporary thing. The amount of people operating it long-term is much less. And there's a huge part about taxes that I thought I understood, and so I'm going to try to explain it. But basically, in Wisconsin, we can only increase our tax levy by development. And so these data centers, it is kind of, communities are kind of swayed by this because that's a huge construction project and allows them to increase their tax levy. But then what happens is, percentage-wise, I think it brings people's taxes lower. I hope somebody else here might be more familiar with this.
Well, let me give you an example.
Yeah, okay.
Rockland is the town, I think, that you're locating this in.
Well, this is just a proposal.
But that's where you put it, so just use that as a hypothetical.
Sure.
They've got, I think there's $300 million worth of assessable tax value in all of Rockland. One of these centers at the size that you're describing here, and I just looked it up on chat today just to find out, would be somewhere probably 10 times that in total value. Yeah. So the people that were paying taxes on the $324 million worth of value, the farmers, et cetera, those taxes would be, their tax burden might go down tremendously because this thing would be that significant. But I don't know the details of how they do this because they always try to get lower taxes. Everybody tries to get lower taxes.
I think that's one of the reasons why they're targeting smaller communities, because then it brings down the rates and then they get to have such a lesser rate. They still are paying taxes, but the rate is so much less.
But that town of Rockland, for instance, gets a tremendous benefit because it's so big. This is going to be something like $2.5–3.5 billion of value, and all of Rockland's got 300. Now that's an assessed valuation that includes agricultural land, which is assessed very low. But it's something that we need to have these facts better understood. But I don't know. Is there any of this that's going on in De Pere? It just south of us?
I think the biggest thing I'm trying to say is that what we're seeing is that they're approaching residents or councils or small towns and asking for them to sign NDAs before they'll even give up any information about potential plans. And so it puts community leaders in a hard spot of, we need to know what these people are proposing, and they're kind of saying, well, we can't tell you anything unless you sign the NDA. And then you've seen all these articles, there's been multiple recently, where they're saying community leaders work with data center behind closed doors. Well, it's kind of, they're forced into it a little bit to just get any information. But that is part of the problem. Now, there are some communities that have maybe ordinances or regulations. They have something in place that says we are not allowed to sign NDAs. And so that protects the community, because then they can say, we can't, we just can't do it. And then the developers are like, oh, okay, all right, we'll tell you what's going on. So it's something to think about. How do we protect ourselves? And now I was thinking, is De Pere someone that's at risk? One of the things we learned at the presentation is when they start at a community, they might drop plans like they did in Greenleaf, but that doesn't mean they've left our area. It means they're kind of moving around, getting feelers out there. There was a lot of opposition and they maybe thought not worth it. So we'll try to see what we can do elsewhere. So that's the main thing why I wanted to bring this up. They're in our area, they're thinking about it. And so the hypothetical kind of targeting Rockland is just looking at the transmission lines that are there as potential, what's near us, that they may target. So it's not just they're coming into communities not really giving any added benefit to the communities, but there's tons of environmental hazards with this. Like, for instance, the noise. The decibels, there's very low frequencies that these emit, and we don't really know what they're doing, what these low frequencies can do. And there's been some reports that they can be quite harmful. But again, it's kind of up in the air. So that's one thing. The amount of water that they're using, they like to say, we're using closed loop systems. But when you ask them to explain what that is, they're really kind of coy about it. And the fact is the closed loop systems do need to be filled up. They still need to be filled up. And I personally think that they're targeting inside the Great Lakes Basin because we can't divert outside of it. So it just, to me, that's like, I don't think they're disclosing everything about the potential for their water use.
Do they use water solely for cooling?
Yeah, so they say they're doing like evaporative cooling, and I'm not super well versed in this.
Because they tend to use an incredible amount of water, right? The ones that are open they just go through tons of water. That's what I've read and heard.
Yeah, so they consume an open system uses 5 million gallons of water a day.
Wow. Yeah, we're definitely a target, I think. Or, this area is...
Yeah.
But if that's, for instance, we're taking it out of the river, using it and putting it back in the river, that's one thing. If
Sure.
it's taking it out of the river and it's going up in the air, that's another.
Yeah.
But I think they would. I think there's something they would be disposing of it in
There'd be further
water
pollutants.
treatment, and do we even have capacity for that? Like,
Yeah, you almost need to build one just adjacent to the... And it said in there that they're a mile... They're snatching up like a square mile properties.
yeah.
That's...
So, and this presenter said, well, where do data centers go? And he said that he's visited a few in his lifetime, in his career, and most of the time, they're like out in the desert or someplace where nothing is around. They build these, or they used to build them, more in the middle of nowhere, and no one would build near them. It just is further proof that they are not adding to a community. Nobody puts up a data center and says, wow, that's really stimulating the area. So it's just the fact that they're targeting smaller communities. It's just because they're vulnerable.
Those large companies are very concerning to me. However, we do need to deal with the facts, and there are a lot of facts that are missing. And, in 1858, I think the railroad was put in through East De Pere. It happened to be on some family property that we had given right-of-ways. And my relative said, gee, we need the railroad for our economy. We'll allow that railroad to go right through our property, which they did. And that right-of-way is now a trail, but it's still a railroad right-of-way. And that was something the owners of those properties wanted. This, we're going to have to find out, but someone's got to tell us that are kind of above us. How important are these that we have 1,000 of these in the United States in the next 10, 20 years? Is this really how we're going to live and how we should live, et cetera? And those are questions that Sustainability Commission and De Pere can't make those decisions.
And that's kind of what they opened the presentation about, is that that hype loop, that is like an actual thing that happens with all technology, is that hype goes way up, but where the actual need settles is usually quite lower.
And the AI hype is like the hype of hypes of
Yeah.
hypes right now.
Yeah, it
It's it's crazy.
We had the same thing with fiber optic lines and the internet in 1990 or 2000. And we had the same hype, and the stock market went nuts with those organizations, et cetera. By 2010, all of that so-called hype excess space was taken, and they were building more because the internet was a real part of our existence. And the question is AI going to be that important to us as a society? And we don't know that.
Yeah, they may just be moving a little too fast for the impacts that they produce at this point, and for communities and to handle.
And the railroad is obviously kind of a public, not good, but it's like it benefits the public. But I feel like these benefit the, it's capitalism. It's the companies that are going to ultimately, So I don't feel like, it's. I just wonder about the UP, how much they're getting up there, because they're surrounded by, multiple of the lakes. But it's kind of a scary proposition. Fortunately, I don't think we have the land, like the open land in De Pere, so it's not going to be quite as big of an issue.
That's why I had that hypothetical kind of targeting Rockland, because I don't quite understand what our relationship is to them, but I think we are, like, there's annexation type talks and things like that. So I don't know what any of that really means, but either way, they're a neighboring community, and even if it's not ours, we are environmentally affected, like our water, that everything. So I think there's not a huge action except for maybe trying to understand where are our vulnerabilities. Do we have anything like NDA kind of regulations or something that could help protect our community?
Yeah, I was just going to say, maybe is there something as a commission we could just put forth so the city and the council knows that, hey, it's the Sustainability Commission's wish that, like, to A, not enter NDAs for this sort of a thing, or B, just let it be known that, hey, we have issues with this, or I don't know how we want to say it, but something saying on the record where the commission stands and our desire to not have that here, or to be involved in it, or have as much communication as possible. I don't know what that looks like, and if that's something we can even do.
You're right, because there are some, you could start thinking about putting in permitting in place, conditional permitting, that kind of thing, to help protect you, because that exclusionary zoning argument can be kind of tough to fight. But if you make your permitting really strict, to try to protect yourself, like put these things in to try to protect the environment, like how strict would you actually need to be to have adequate protections? Because the other part is construction can take about 10 years on some of these places, and how does that impact your community and runoff and all kinds of things? And are you prepared to regulate that and follow up on it?
Ghost towns.
I wonder if we could do like a proclamation. I mean, there's not a lot of teeth in it, but at least I think
Exactly.
it would have some good discussion on council.
Absolutely.
Just
That's
to
what
say-
proclamation was the word I
Yeah,
couldn't
I
think
think
of. Thank you.
that's what we would do. But it's the one in Greenleaf is dead now.
Yeah.
Do we know, was that like a specific company, or are there third parties building these? Or
So I think sometimes the developer, it like passes off right away, or they do it under like not a shell company, but basically it's
So
like
nobody
an unknown
knows, kind
name.
of? Yeah.
And then you find out later that it's, Meta or something.
Yeah.
So,
Their fingers and everything.
Things going on like in our cell phones. The cell phone towers, Verizon doesn't own any cell phone towers. There's a whole another set of people that own cell phone towers and the connections of this and this. I mean, that's the way business has evolved in our country in the last 50 or 100 years. So, but the question I would have of the fathers, the city fathers, would be, are you going to keep this transparent or not? And that would be my only issue. The citizens of De Pere deserve transparency.
Yeah, and I can't speak for everybody on council, but I mean, the thought of anybody approaching you with an NDA is it's like that's not how I don't know that it would go far, but I can't speak for the council. completely, but yeah, that seems strange to ask.
Yeah.
Do you know if Greenleaf signed those, or was that part of it?
Gosh, what I think I read some articles. I want to say there were some talks, and then maybe later after this kind of became a dead issue, maybe someone came out and said, I'm sorry for that, but I don't
Yeah.
think they actually signed anything.
Because it wasn't known at first, right, who it was exactly? It was kind of
They were approaching residents and saying, this is coming no matter what, and if we want you to sell your land, all your neighbors are. They were saying like pretty aggressive tactics. And then so
and they're probably paying a premium if they're, if they want to. There's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of hype, so there's a lot of dollars being thrown at this stuff right now, so.
I think the quote was that one person was told, you're not going to want to live here anymore if you knew it was coming, or something, like almost verbatim, something like that. They published that in an article.
The average land price that they've been buying, at least from the article I read, was $225,000 an acre. So you've got a farmer with 160 acres. He's looking at $225,000 an acre. He's saying, ooh.
Yeah. Right. That's generational wealth almost.
Yeah.
So what I would recommend then, if we see language out there or a proclamation that you see in another community, maybe bring it forth as an example for staff to review, and we can run it by administration too, if that would be something they would want to formally proclamate. Same thing with any zoning code or ordinance changes you'd want to see. If you see an example out there, feel free to run it by us, and we can have administration review that, and maybe we then make a formal action on that to bring to Common Council.
Yep.
Just on this memo, a couple protections we do have in place. We do have a pretty robust zoning code as it is. On the stormwater side of things, if you build a big impervious swath of land like that, you are forced by our code and the DNR to treat that water. We're part of a TMDL with the Fox River. They can't just plow through a field and pave it over and let that water go. They'll have to have stormwater treatment on site as per our ordinance and then the DNR. And then one last protection we have in place is our soil. With the clay soils and the nature of the land throughout De Pere, if it's a lot of wetlands, which in this box there would be a ton with the East River running through the middle of it, that would limit their ability to develop. You wouldn't be able to put a huge square footage facility because you're only allowed to fill, I think, 10,000 square feet of wetland.
Without
Have to
the
replace
mitigation.
it.
Without
So that's another
mitigation,
thing is
yep.
that I have said, how are they not getting a 404 permit, and then thus they're subject to
Right.
federal standards, needing to do an EIS, all that, and they're pretty slick and they're finding ways to avoid wetlands. So
Right.
if you've got wetlands, you're kind of almost protected a
Yeah,
little bit.
we have a lot of hydraulic or wetland indicators in our soils around us, so it's challenging on our own end of things.
I think that clay makes everything a wetland.
Yep.
True. Okay, do we have more on this? Are we ready to wrap it up? Okay, cool. Thank you very much for bringing this. Next, we have consideration and possible action on initiative prioritization, adopt a drain.
So right now we're evaluating how to further promote this initiative. Maybe Joni's billboards is the way we go, because this would be a really nice one to get something out there. Maybe someone on roller skates pointing at a drain. Outside of that, I have nothing really new.
I mean, this is kind of prime time for drain, making sure there's drain access, right, with melting snow.
We're getting to that point. It's not necessarily pollutants, but yeah, clearing them with ice.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Can we repost that video or like do some sort of social media?
Absolutely.
Like it's now time to clean your drains because you're
Good reminder.
won't
We
end
could-
up with water. Yeah.
Reminder if you adopted a drain, aka I think I need a reminder.
Okay.
But it might be good for everyone that adopted one, just to get a reminder.
Maybe we do an email blast and a social media post. Trying to think.
I mean, I'm sure they still have trash on them. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like that doesn't go away
You'll have a lot of-
during the winter.
A lot of grit, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, anything else on this? No?
Not from staff.
Okay. Last one we have is discussion on stormwater watershed pollutant model.
All right. So we have the model set up where staff would normally sit for other meetings. We're gonna move over there and Commissioner Castellanos will lead our model presentation for our captive audience.
I mean, there's one here that I definitely want
Right.
to activate. Ooh, we definitely need more sprinkles.
So I don't know if you want to hold this while you're speaking on it too, so you're caught.
I mean, maybe. What are we gonna call, what's red, do we think?
Leaves.
Red's leaves?
Leaves can be red.
Okay, grass is green.
Grass is green.
Brown is poop.
Oils, dirts.
Cattle runoff.
Cattle runoff, yeah.
Dog poop, because that's a big one.
Um,
Okay.
I do have the pipe in place right here, so you can see how our stormwater system would go. In theory, things should go into this tube and then into the river.
So yeah, with this model, you can set up like a bunch of different ways to show this. Okay.
Ladies and gents,
Yes.
I'm going to leave because I can't see anything.
Oh, sad.
That is okay. We still have a quorum. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I hope you guys have a great night.
You too.
Okay. So this is a watershed, right? We've got like an industrial area, we've got housing areas, we've got the road, we've got agriculture. So let's just say we got some dirt over here. We've got
Fertilizing the fields.
Yep, cow poop, whatever you want there. What do we got?
New home construction, maybe.
Okay, I love that. So we've got some dirt over here. Okay, these are yards. We got a lot of grass. Oh, it's white. We'll pretend it's salt.
It'll change colors.
Over there, we also have grass over here. Okay, and then what did we decide red was?
Dirt in here. I'm gonna put a little dirt in the sewage treatment plant because back in the day, they would just dump the wastes into the rivers.
What did we decide red was?
Red was leaves.
Ooh, okay. So leaves again, still on properties. Is this maybe a little forest? Leaves over here. Maybe
Put on the
some
street
leaves.
because everyone puts
Oh
their leaves
yeah,
in the
good
street.
call, good call. So we got leaves on the street.
We got oil from our cars.
Ooh, yes.
Doesn't even come out. Oh, this is
Oh,
nice.
little pellets. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen when it rains? I'm asking you.
Where does the water go?
In the pipe?
Some of it goes in the pipes. Do you think the water over here goes into the pipes, or do you think it just goes into the water? We're going to find out. Okay, so now it's going to rain.
I have to
Maybe.
twist the front. Oh.
Man, you guys.
Now all the pollutants become evident.
So you can start to see as it rains.
Right now we're not quite concentrated flow.
Well, this would be good for them.
For the farmer's market, yeah.
Yes.
But I feel like we have to like do times, right? So people come,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so sorry if I got you wet, honey. But so you can see what happens is it starts to run and run. Yeah, it's weird. Oh, I didn't even do this one.
Ah, that's what I was wondering.
What is it?
Really, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And look at where it all goes.
So you see it go,
into the bay.
and it goes into the water. Yeah.
The roadside ditches into the Fox River, the East
But look
River
at-
here, and
We're gonna
then
try and get it to go down that pipe. Did it?
I want that there.
No, we don't. But that's what happens. And that's this model.
This is really cool.
so that's why we have stormwater detention ponds, and we vacuum all the leaves in the fall time to help capture these pollutants. Yes, exactly.
After 40 years.
What is this for? What is this?
So I think it's a wastewater treatment plant, so you can really concentrate something and dump it into
Oh, and
this
then it comes
pipe,
out. Ah,
and
okay,
it'll come
gotcha,
out.
gotcha. Yep, yep.
So if you're not protecting what you're treating,
Yep.
but,
Cool.
but our wastewater treatment plant is very good at what
Such
they
a great
do.
way to show, though. I mean, literally, the sheer amount.
Yeah.
And you were such a good rain god.
Add it to my resume.
After watching the quad god the last couple of days.
It's funny.
So this would potentially drain down too if you had the plugs out.
Yes. So I have this is a basin underneath.
Yep.
We don't have the basin underneath the plug right now.
Got it, got
So
it.
yeah, I almost pulled that plug. That would have been bad.
So yeah, so this worked a little bit, right? But not.
If we would have got more.
This is neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
We need to
impressive.
expand our little.
What was in
I'll
the
think
right
about
there?
it. I think a house maybe was there, so we're gonna pretend this is like there's houses being built and there's nothing there yet. So this is just a big empty lot.
Brownfield, they call it.
Hmm?
Oh, that's really cool.
So yeah, we have a
Educational tool.
Girl Scout troop that wants to go over it. So
I am a Girl Scout.
Are you?
really,
Is it your troop that wants to see this? Oh man.
do you think you guys would like to see this?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Probably not.
Oh,
That's fair.
We got some wild girls.
Right.
She's being honest. There's some wild ones in there.
that's all good.
We did a lot of tie-dye in Girl Scouts.
So yeah,
Awesome. This is great.
that's the model.
That's fabulous.
Is that, I don't know.
Very good.
Now we have to clean it up, huh?
Yeah, I'll deal with that after. Yes. Oh, I do have the plug in the right spot. Okay. Put the model
You
on
can drain
backwards.
it?
Yeah, I can drain it.
Gonna pick up your stuff.
I'll deal with that in a second.
Nice work.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay. So Girl Scout troop is gonna see that.
Maybe we do a recorded presentation of
I
the model
was
too.
just going to say that. Yep. That would be fantastic.
Okay. So finally, do we have any future agenda items? Nope.
No.
Okay, cool. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Can I get a second?
Motion by Alderperson Nelson, seconded by Commissioner Lawton.
Okay, all in favor of adjourning the meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Cool. Good meeting.